So there we go. Should we go for a walk? Hey everyone, my name is Jo, and I'm the Kosher Ninja. We're planning and preparing my bucket list adventure, which is to hike through Israel from one end to the other along the Israel National Trail, or Shvil Israel, later this year. I'm so glad you've stopped by, and while you're here, don't forget to subscribe. But today we're going to talk about what I've been doing to train for this adventure, because a lot of people have been asking me about that. For the Shvil Israel, if you're starting from the north like I am, they don't say that it's absolutely necessary to have any kind of special training regimen for the Shvil. Obviously, you should be fit and in good condition, but when you're starting from the north, the trail sort of trains you and gets you ready for the more difficult parts. So I'm actually starting from Mount Hermon, which it adds a couple of days to my hike as opposed to starting from the beginning of the Shvil, which starts in Kibbutz Dan. And when you're starting from Mount Hermon, they do recommend that you do some training to prepare for the hike. Now, I have sort of made plans to ease into my hike, and I'll tell you more about those later, because literally I don't have time to spend every day walking around the block 20 times with my pack on my back. Some people will start from the south, and if you're starting from the south in the spring, you really do need to do some very focused training for that, because some of the sections in the desert are very difficult, and you're also dealing with the summer or the desert heat and sun as well. So if you're starting from the south, absolutely you need to do some training. Check out some videos on YouTube about how to train for long distance hiking, and that will be a big help. My training program has been a little bit, like I say, haphazard, because first of all, I have a day job. And second of all, my original goal for myself was to get my black belt before I turned 50. I had gotten involved in Kung Fu a few years ago, and that just seemed like a good goal to set for myself. And at some particular point in time along my journey, that actually seemed attainable. And then I had to get myself a different goal for my 50th birthday, which is part of the whole thing about how the Shvil came about. So a large part of my free time has been going into my Kung Fu training, and has left me with very little time to do any training for the Shvil, especially because of the videos that I'm doing for YouTube that, believe it or not, requires quite a bit of time and energy to shoot the videos and edit them. So my training has been on my mind. Once the weather got nicer, my friend and I decided to start doing some training, and well, the first time that we set out, I was like, okay, we're just going to go out for a couple of kilometers, right? And we got quite a ways down the road, and I'm like, okay, this is all right, where are we going? And we kept walking, and then finally after a little while I was like, okay, are we gonna turn around, or are we going around the block? And my friend was like, no, we're going around the block because you need to train. Okay, the block, it turns out, is 9 kilometers long. That's like 5 miles. So that was my first training session. And since then, we've done about the first few sessions, that was without a pack. And we've done a few sessions with without the pack, and we started out doing like 10K every weekend on one of the days, and then I'd be doing my videos on the other. And then eventually we got to where we were doing 10K on Saturday and another 10K on Sunday. So that was kind of my goal for a few weeks, was to do 20K over the weekend. And then eventually I added the pack, not for the whole journey and not because I felt a need to train with the pack, but because I just wanted to see what it was going to feel like. And I needed to learn how to use the pack and how to adjust the straps and stuff, and I'm still trying to figure that out. But so I did, the first day I did maybe, 500 meters. And then the next time I went out with the pack, the following week, I went out for about 5K. And I did another session with the pack for about 5K and loaded it up a little bit heavier that time. So I have been out a couple of times with the pack. It's doable, certainly doable, although the pack has not been fully loaded, not even fully base weight loaded. So it's gonna be uncomfortable for the first few times. We've only got a number of weeks to go, and at this point I've tapered back on my training for a couple of reasons. One, it's just kind of crazy right now in terms of everything I have to get done. For another, I am doing my black belt test in a couple of weeks, so I just want to be in good shape and not too exhausted. There is one other aspect of my training that is probably not something that people generally think about, but because of the problems that I've had with my feet, I've had to think about how to strengthen them and get them ready for the Shvil. Fortunately, I have a friend in my Kung Fu class who is, she does Pilates and Chinese medicine and that kind of thing. She's very into sort of natural health and natural wellness, which is great because I am too. And so I was talking to her about this issue with my feet, and she gave me a couple of suggestions in terms of exercises that I could do for strengthening my feet. So I've been doing those exercises, as well as some that I found in a book called Whole Body Barefoot by Katie Bowman, and also just some that I added myself. And the interesting thing was, about a week after, maybe not even a week after I started the exercises Cindy gave me, it was so weird. It was like my feet, like I was walking on pillows, because I guess the muscles in my feet had strengthened, and it was the weirdest feeling. But I've been doing those exercises for a few months now, and I can tell that my feet are definitely stronger for it, and I'm glad I started that out. So I'll show you some of those exercises, and not because there's anything scientific about them or I recommend them or anything, but just because some of you might be curious about what I've been doing. And then we'll take a look at some of my hiking sessions. So this is going to be my first official training session. We are breaking out my Xero shoes, which are called Xero Shoes because they have zero drop. So there's no heel and there's zero drop. And I'm not sure if we're breaking in my shoes or breaking in my feet. But, and there's my Injinji socks, which are my everyday and Gingy socks. These ones are not coming with me. And we're also going to test out my trekking poles, which I tried once before, and that was kind of disastrous. So hopefully this time works a little bit better. I have to learn how to use these. So I have to remember how to put these together. So they break down into 3, and then they poke together like that. There we go. And then there's a little latch here that locks it in place. And one more. So, yes, okay. This is going to be interesting. I feel like an old person walking with my cane.
You look like one too.
So I can't seem to get the cadence right. It's like, I think you're supposed to put it like opposite foot, opposite cane. Trekking pole. But I just can't get it right. Oh, maybe now.
That looks good, but you still look like an old person.
And I have no cadence here. Okay, like I'm using too much arm power. Alright. This feels so wrong. It's just so ludicrous. I'm done.
Oh, dog kisses!
Oh,
Woohoo!
dog kisses, no. No dog kisses, no. Oh, wet dog kisses. So, okay, workout duration, 58 minutes, 49 seconds. Distance, 4.94 kilometers. 195 calories.
Time.
6,953 steps. Average speed, 5 kilometers per hour. Average pace, 11 minutes and 52 seconds per kilometer. And,
Quiet.
okay, shush. Lowest, okay. Total ascent, 0.58 kilometers, and elevation gain, 58 meters.
Oh, that's good.
So, I think that I was not supposed to walk for 10 kilometers the first time I tried my Xero Shoes, girl.
Let's see those shoes. Let's see those shoes again. All right, close up of the shoes.
So we're out for a training run. This is, I think, session 9 or 10. Last night got aborted because of a storm that rolled in, so I only did about 4K. And so today we're trying to get in 16 to get my 20K for the weekend. And right now we've done about 7.5K and we've stopped for a break. And we've got another, well, I guess 9K or so to go yet. 8 or 9K to go. Well, we didn't quite make it 16 kilometers. 14. I did about 14 kilometers, and that was pretty good. Considering that's probably the farthest I've ever walked in a single day ever in my life. So, yeah, pretty good, but didn't get a whole 20 kilometers this weekend, but that's okay. And then that 14 kilometers, that's the shortest day I'm ever going to have on the trail is 14K, plus my pack on my back. And but I'll have all day to do it. Here I had basically 3 hours. So, yeah. I'll be able to take my time. Not going to do any more than that for a training run, though. I think between 10 and 14K is going to be good for training runs. I'm going to see if I can make it to the street corner and back. It's actually not bad, but this does not have any water or any food. So by the time or my drone. So by the time you add all that stuff, and I walk 10, 15, 24 kilometers, kilometers, then this is going to be heavy for sure. But I'm going to, why is it, I have stuff, what is this for?
I think you still have to put that around your waist.
I don't think so. I don't It's for, I think it's for one of the ones for hooking stuff up to it.
Oh yeah, that looks like if you put a pad under there or something.
Yeah.
There's clips for it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to walk up to that street corner and back, and we're going to see if I make it. I don't have my pole.
I'm not walking.
That was about, what, 300, 400 meters?
Are you out of breath? Are you out of breath from walking?
Over there.
Are you walking out of breath from walking so fast or carrying your pack?
Walking so fast with my pack.
Okay.
I think I need to pace myself.
Okay, so what did you think of how it felt?
Actually, not as bad as I thought it would. Not nearly as bad as I thought it would.
Are you feeling any pulling?
This part I just tightened it up a little bit because I thought maybe it was a little too loose, but I probably tightened it a little too much. But
Are you feeling it pulling on your shoulder
I
or your
feel
back?
it right now pulling me back. So maybe I don't have something set up quite right. I don't know. But it's probably better if it's pulling me straight rather than me like leaning over, bent over, right? Okay, so a couple of weeks ago we set out with a pack on my back, and I literally just went to the street corner and back. And it wasn't actually, I was surprised it wasn't that bad, but that actually makes sense because the pack is like really doesn't even have half the weight in it that it will have on the Shvil. So bearing that in mind, tonight we're going to set out for another training run with the pack on, but I'm actually going to go for probably about 4 or 5 kilometers tonight, knowing that the pack isn't actually that bad. And we're going to find out how much it weighs before I head out. We're going to do that right now. Okay, so here's my pack. I have to put the water bottles in. Water bottle number 1. And water bottle number 2. Oh, and all my straps are all tied up because I don't know how to use this thing. Okay. The other thing that I did last time was I didn't actually cinch it up. So the pack wasn't as close to my back as it really should have been. So that my center of gravity is nice and close to my back. We're going to do that this time, and hopefully I can figure out how that works. So tighten this guy. Clip this on. This up to here, I guess. I wish I knew what all these things clip to. Ow! Ah! All right. There's that. Essential supplies. That's chocolate. Ow! Jeez. Okay. I don't know what this one clips to. So, I'm not going to clip it. Very strange. Okay. Looks like I've got some learning to do. Oh, here we go. No. Okay. I don't know what all these things clip to. Oh, this clips to here. Okay, the brain. Got it. Took me a while, but I get there eventually. Okay, that's not great. The brain is hanging like, I don't know what's going on here. It is what it is. It's not as full as it will be on the Shvil, so we'll have to adjust accordingly. But for now, this is how it goes, and my center of balance won't be where I want it, but that's okay. And see how much this baby weighs. Okay. Okay, oops, dropped the camera. so let's try this again. So I have the scale, I have my backpack. Hopefully we won't drop the camera again this time. So here goes. 7.64 kilos. So that's about half the weight that it's going to be for the Shvil. But that's good enough for training for now anyways, considering it's going to be my first trek out for a little bit longer. So off we go. So here we go. Let's get my poles all set up and not pinch my finger like I did last time. 1 and 2. So I'm to the street corner and I'm running out of breath. Doesn't bode well, but it doesn't feel that bad, but it is pretty heavy. Even at just 7.5 kilos, it's definitely pretty heavy. Oh yeah, he's pretty dead. He's smushed. That's too bad. What a gorgeous thing. Well, there was that poor dead butterfly further down the road, but there's a real live one that keeps flitting around my head, and I can't catch him on the camera for you, obviously. But I'm just so pleased to see. For many, many years I haven't seen monarch butterflies. I sort of remarked that a few years ago, that when I was a kid I used to see them all the time, and I haven't seen them for years. And this year in particular, maybe the last couple of years, but this year for sure, I've been seeing a lot more of them, and that just makes me really happy. So I hope my little buddy, who seems to be wanting to train with me, will show up again, but I'm afraid I probably can't get him on camera for you. All right, so this is as far as I had planned to come. Along the way I had sort of contemplated whether or not I would keep going, as far as, I don't know if you can see that barn right there. It looks a lot farther than it is. But you know what? I think this is enough. This is what I plan to do, and I'm going to call it for today because I still have to get back. All right, so I've made it back to training base camp, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. About 5 kilometers, I think. I'll find out for sure and let you know. But I clearly still have things to learn. So my weight isn't distributed correctly. I'm feeling it in my shoulders for sure. I'm not quite sure what the problem there is. I think it's not up high enough and close enough to my back. So I'll have to try to figure that out. And then I have these bunch of straps down here hanging in my ankles. I don't know if you can see that. And I don't know where they come from or how to fix that, but I'll have to do that for next time because that was driving me kind of nuts. But yeah, so much for my first real training session with pack. Got to make it over to the front door still. That's about 10 meters, 15 meters. I can do that. Another few kilometers down, and tomorrow we'll head out without the pack to try and get some kilometers in. All right, see you then. So yesterday we tested out my pack for the first time, and it turned out it was about 5 kilometers exactly, 5.01 to be precise. So although I don't exactly trust my Samsung Health app to be entirely accurate, so I'll have to also double check that on Google Maps or something. But it was about 5 kilometers. Today we're going to try to get in some kilometers, and we've left the pack behind. We're going to test out some gear, so we're testing out my video on my Samsung Galaxy S7 phone, and we're also testing out the GoPro. And I'm also carrying, there it is, my Nikon DSLR. So I look like RoboCop, but we're going along a section of trail that claims to be part of the Great Trail, previously known as the Trans-Canada Trail. And I'm not sure about that, but we'll have to find out if that's true or not. And we're gonna do probably about 14 kilometers today, hopefully. And it's supposed to be really scenic and pretty. Well, what a disappointing waterfall. Abandoned by my director slash trainer, and found the most awesome sight along the whole way, so that's too bad for her. But I'm going to meet up with her in about a kilometer or so, and then we have to walk back to the car and get home for a shower, because it's like 28 or 29 degrees out here, which is actually great for my training, because that's about the conditions that I'll have in Israel. I've just added some things to my pack today. So I've added 2 liters of water and my electronics case, and I'm just about to find out how much that's going to weigh for today's practice run. Oh, holy mackerel. 9.52 kilos. That's our practice run today. We're going to go for about 5K, and hopefully, if I can make it that far. Okay, so this is gonna be interesting. Okay. Okay. All right, well, there we go. Off we go. Actually, not quite yet. Oh, jeez. No, this is not done up right. Not even, okay, not even a little bit. Let's start again. All right. Let's try this again. Okay. If you're wondering what this other flap is, I'm testing out my camera carrier. So we'll see how that works, but okay. Shoulder straps. Okay. I need to see what's going on here, except that I can't. Okay, so jeepers, bugs all over me. It's very wrong. All right, back we go. Square one again. Third time's the charm, they say. Away we go. Ah! Did I undo the wrong one again? Crap. No, that's the right one. Okay. Okay, so now, shoulder straps. There we go. Much better. Alright, so this camera connector, it's got like a little connector at the bottom of my camera, and that slides down into this, I don't know what you want to call this, and then the camera just turns around and locks into place. So you can see that. That's how I'm going to try to carry my camera, and we'll see how it works. It does swing a little bit, which the whole thing is I'm trying to find a way to make it not swing, but I don't know. I'm determined to bring this camera, so there you go. Okay, so I'm back. I didn't make it 5 kilometers. I made it just over 3 to about 3.3 kilometers, and the reason for that was the pack is 2 kilometers heavier than I've had it so far, and also I want to ease in gently. I want to sort of work up to it, and I've been getting some physiotherapy for my hip for the last couple weeks because I've got a lot going on right now, and I just want to make sure that everything's going to be okay when I hit the trail. So I really don't want to overdo it. So just gonna take it easy, call it quits for 3.3 kilometers today. Okay, feel much better, got my pack off. I actually think that the pack is not entirely properly adjusted either, which didn't really help. It felt okay for those 3 kilometers, but it would be rough for for 20 kilometers to go like that. So I think I need to adjust it more properly. I need to figure out how to do that and make sure that it's sitting right on my back. But one thing that I was really pleased about was the camera. The camera's not going to be a problem at all. Sitting here on my stomach between the two hip pouches, and I thought it would bother me a little bit because it was swinging a little bit, but it's just so little. It's in the perfect spot. It felt heavy when I put it on first, but with the backpack on my back, the camera was nothing. So that I'm really happy about. And it will cause some logistical issues. I'll always have to remember to take the camera off before I set my pack down. But that shouldn't be a problem at all. And it's really, I was determined I'm going to bring that camera along, so I will, and it's going to be great. Alright, so I'm cutting down on my training a little bit because the black belt test is coming up and I want to make sure I'm not wiped out. But I am doing a training run today, and I was scouting out trails in the area, and I discovered a trail called the Kissing Bridge Trailway. How can I not do that trail for my training runs? It's within spitting distance of home. I have to do it. So here we go. We're gonna go find ourselves a Kissing Bridge. So the trail itself is an old railway line that's been made into a recreation trail or a hiking trail, and it's not quite as interesting as maybe like hiking in the backcountry somewhere, but it's still quite pretty. And I'm being bitten by mosquitoes, but it's still much prettier than I thought it would be. So this is just a nice little Saturday stroll down the Kissing Bridge Trailway. And this is not the Kissing Bridge. This is another bridge along the trail. This is also not the Kissing Bridge. And this bridge is also not the Kissing Bridge. Well, that's the Kissing Bridge, and it's the only remaining covered bridge in Ontario. And that's pretty amazing, and I hope it stays there for a while because it's pretty cool. So that's how I've been training for the Shvil, and time is running out. So if you're as excited as I am about my adventure, give me a thumbs up and subscribe and share this video with your friends. And if you have any questions or comments about my training regimen or anything else about my adventure, let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you've ever hiked the Shvil or anywhere else in Israel, tell me about that below. I'd love to hear from you. I'm so excited to be sharing this journey with you, and I can't wait to see you again next time. Until then, thanks for watching, and shalom, eh?
It looks like the chickens are coming with us. Hi, chickies. Hi, girls. Come on, chickies. Want to be in the video?
Sorry, eaten alive here. Okay, sorry, that's why the camera's shaking. Bye.
Shadow, you're wrecking the video.
Get out of the way.